Hello, good evening and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Nadim Majid.
A very good evening to you. I'm Florine Rajendran and here's a look at tonight's headlines.
UPFA leaders say the president has agreed to allow opposition MPs to select the opposition leader.
විපක්ෂයේ മന്ത്രിවරුන්ගේ කැමැත්ත අනුව ඒක තෝරා ගැනීම සඳහා අවස්ථාව සලසනවා කියලා තමයි එතුමා ප්‍රකාශ කළේ.
Uday Gamanpilla in talks with UPFA party leaders to form a new alliance. Paddy storage to commence at the Matala airport from tomorrow to make submission in the Court of Appeal.
The inaugural sitting of the 8th Parliament will be held tomorrow. Among the first orders of business for the new Parliament tomorrow will be the appointment of MPs to key positions, including the position of Speaker and Opposition Leader. Several rounds of talks were held today as well regarding the formation of a national government and the future business of Parliament.
Party leaders of the United People's Freedom Alliance met with President Maithripala Sirisena at the President's residence this morning. Vimal Weerawansa, Vasudeva Nanayakkara and Dinesh Gunawardena were among the leaders that were present representing the United People's Freedom Alliance. Secretary of the Pivituru Hela Urumeya and UPFA MP-elect Uday Gamanpilla claimed that he had not received an invitation for the meeting. During this discussion, we tabled several suggestions with regard to our decision to not participate in any political journey with the UNP. We also pointed out the negative outcome if the UNP and the UPFA work together and appoint persons from the SLFP and the UPFA in the upcoming local government elections. We requested that MPs who will be seated in the opposition be given the free will to select who they wish to appoint as the opposition leader. His reply to this was that he will not be involved in the selection process of the opposition leader and that he will provide the opportunity to those who are seated in the opposition to select whomever they wish.
විපක්ෂයේ മന്ത്രിවරුන්ගේ කැමැත්ත අනුව ඒක තෝරා ගැනීම සඳහා අවස්ථාව සලසනවා කියලා තමයි එතුමා ප්‍රකාශ කළේ. ඒවා අපි ඉදිරියේදී කියනවා.
අද ජනාධිපතිතුමා කැඳෙව්වා අපිව සන්දානයේ.
The President convened us today, the Mahajana Eksat Peramuna, the National Liberation Front, the Sri Lanka Mahajana Party, the Democratic Left Front and the National Freedom Front. The leaders of these parties participated. As the UPFA, we discussed our activities, the situation that has arisen with regard to Parliament and the business of Parliament. We exchanged ideas cordially.
අපි හුවමාරු කළා ප්‍රකාශ කළා. පිළිබඳව තීරණයක් ගැනීම ප්‍රකාශයට පත්වේවි. අද දින අපි තීරණයකට එළඹුණේ නැහැ. කිසිම පුද්ගලයෙක් නමක් අද සඳහන් වුණේ නැහැ. අපේ අදහස් විමසීම තමයි සිදු වුණේ.
Meanwhile, Uday Gamanpilla says several UPFA constituent parties, including the Pivituru Hela Urumeya, are in talks to form a new alliance.
Sri Lanka Nidas Paksi Sahudara Pakshat ekka සාකච්ඡා නො.
A situation has arisen where the UPFA has come into a passive state due to the SLFP reaching agreements with the UNP without holding discussions with other parties in the alliance. It is hard for us to think about continuing our political journey with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. That is why we have requested all mayors and chairmen of local councils who are part of the UPFA to help us create a new alliance ahead of the upcoming local government elections. We are holding talks with 6 political parties regarding this matter. At a meeting held at the President's residence today, bipartisan talks were held between UNP and SLFP representatives regarding the future of the proposed national government. Today we discussed how we can create a national government which is consensual and how we can solve problems through delegation and devolution. By tomorrow we will all get to know that President Maithripala Sirisena will be taking a democratic decision with regard to Parliament.
Welcome back to Primetime News. The Supreme Court has ordered that the fundamental rights petition, which was filed against the national list of the United People's Freedom Alliance, be amended and submitted to court within a week from today. The petition was filed by Somavira Chandrasiri of the Mahajana Eksat Peramuna, a constituent of the UPFA.
The petition was taken up once again today before Chief Justice K. Sri Pawan and Supreme Court Justices Priyantha Jayawardena and Anil Gunaratne. President's counsel Manohara De Silva, who was representing the petitioner, said that as those elected to Parliament are to be sworn in tomorrow, measures should be taken in this regard. However, representing the respondents in the case, Attorney-at-Law Salia Piris pointed out that certain important documentation was not available in the petition and that the respondents in the case have not received any documentation relevant to the petition. As the judge's briefs also lacked a vast amount of relevant documents, the Chief Justice stated that the petition cannot be taken up for consideration. The attorney representing the petitioner said that he believes that taking into account the current situation, the petition must be amended.
As the required documents have not been presented, the case on the national list was postponed to the 10th. A date was given to present the required documents. I came to court on behalf of the people of this country. More than my seat as a nationalist MP, I came here for the sovereignty of the people. No, he did not come. He is just one party. He is in this case as a respondent, so he did not come. He evaded this from day one, as he did today. I do not know where he went. We came to court to show our opposition to the usurpation of the national list. We hope to gain justice through the courts.
The Supreme Court, which gave a period of 1 week for the petition to be amended, postponed the hearing until the 10th of September.
The Attorney General's Department informed the Court of Appeal today that investigations conducted thus far into Kumaran Padmanathan alias KP have not revealed any links to acts of terrorism. A petition filed by JVP Propaganda Secretary Vijitha Herath against KP was taken up before the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Vijit Malalguda, today.
The petition was filed citing several respondents, including the Attorney General, the Defence Secretary, the Controller General of Immigration and Immigration, the Army Commander and Kumaran Padmanathan. Vijitha Herath claims in his petition that KP is wanted by the Indian police in connection with the assassination of India's former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. In the petition, Herath has levelled several accusations at KP, including on charges pertaining to providing funding, arms and ammunition to the LTTE. The petitioner sought that KP be arrested for these reasons and that he be prevented from leaving the country. The Attorney General came before court 6 months ago and said that there are several incidents that have been brought to light through the petition and that a proper investigation is required. He asked for 6 months. The 6 months concludes today. Priyantha Navana represented the Attorney General in court today. A statement was made today, and we are sad to say that through this statement it has been said that the individual known as Kumaran Padmanathan has not been involved in any crime. Nevertheless, investigations must be conducted with regard to several other incidents. He asked for further 6 weeks. He noted that revelations will be made on the remaining points on the 28th of October.
On to another headline-making story tonight. The Paddy Marketing Board says that the storing of paddy at the warehouse complex of the Mattala International Airport will commence tomorrow. The board's chairman, MB Disanayaka, noted that the previous season's paddy harvest from the Hambantota district will be brought to Mattala.
The Mattala International Airport, which was constructed with the use of the latest state-of-the-art and cutting technology with all facilities, was declared open in 2013. However, today this international airport is used by a single carrier, which is Fly Dubai, which operates just one flight to Mattala. Therefore, the Paddy Marketing Board has taken measures to utilize the warehouse which are not being made use of for the storage of paddy.
We are not dumping paddy at the airport. We have exceeded the storage capacity in the Hambantota district. After holding discussions with officials at the Mattala airport, it came to light that there are warehouses at the airport which are not being used. Therefore, we came to an agreement to store the harvest at these warehouses on a temporary basis. After we clear out the paddy, we will hand over these warehouses back to the airport. However, as both these institutions are owned by the state, there is no deal on any cost.
සමාගමට බාර දීමට කටයුතු කරනවා. එහෙම ගෙවීම් සම්බන්ධ කිවිසුමකට එළඹිලා නැහැ. රජයේ ආයතන දෙකක් නේ.
යාළුවෝ මණ්ඩලය අපෙන් ඉල්ලීමක් කරා මත්තල ගුවන් තොටුපළේ ගබඩා සංකීර්ණ.
The Paddy Marketing Board made a request from us to provide them with the empty warehouses to store the harvest from the Yala season. So we held discussions with Sri Lankan Airlines as well. The reason being that these warehouses come under the direct control of Sri Lankan Airlines. We took the decision based on their consent. As it is a national requirement, the required space was given to store the paddy for a temporary period of time on a short-term low-interest loan scheme.
A prisoner at the Valikada prison committed suicide by hanging himself today. He was a resident of Matakulia.
The deceased was 20-year-old Mohammad Jibri Asmi. He was sentenced to prison on the 27th of last month on charges of possession of cannabis. He was placed under remand custody as he was unable to pay a fine of Rs 1,500. According to a prison report, he was placed in the Y ward of the Valikara prison and was sentenced to 3 months in prison. It was suspected that he committed suicide around 2 this morning.
We admitted him to the National Hospital as soon as we discovered him. We still do not know the reason behind his suicide. If someone knows the reason behind his death or if they suspect any reason, they can make a statement during the magisterial inquest. There are 10 prisoners in this ward. This department did not receive any complaints with regard to the possible reason behind his death. It was reported that this prisoner in question was in his cell at 2 a.m.
Jibri Mohammad Azmi, who was a resident of Samitpura Matta Kolya, was the breadwinner for 2 of his brothers as their father abandoned them. According to his family, he was engaged in a small business. Police said that one of his brothers committed suicide 9 months ago. Police added that the victim was charged with the possession of drugs on several occasions.
At a media briefing held in Colombo today, several civil society organizations called for investigations into unsolved cases, including the disappearance of Prageet Eknaligoda, to be expedited.
Investigations should be held into all the killings, not only that of Prageet Eknaligoda. We need an answer regarding whether this country will move forward as a civilized nation. If a certain government attempts to suppress investigations and cover up arrests in connection with Prageet Eknaligoda's death, and if we have assisted in the formation of that government, we beg forgiveness from the people and call on them to rally against such an uncivilized government. We call on the Defense Secretary to please think of the major crisis. One of the main accusations in the Geneva resolution is the killing of journalists. It clearly mentions Prageet's killing. If the country is to receive some relief, if America has said that they will not bring a resolution against Sri Lanka and that they are for a domestic investigation, then we must create an enabling environment within the country. In many instances, those who show lethargy in carrying out proper investigations are doing so for no other reason but to perpetuate the mafia machinations and the underworld machinations. This is because all of them get some benefit from this. We hope for democracy, citizens' freedom and good governance in the society. A conspiracy to halt this trend has arisen from within the society. Do not try to cover up the truth. The people of the North and the South got together to defeat communalism. If attempts are being made to bring forward communalism again to hamper and suppress these investigations, then the nation will move contrary to the January 8th revolution. They issued statements that Comrade Prageet Eknaligoda was missing and then he was murdered. Mahinda Rajapaksa's government must be held accountable.
Meanwhile, local onion farmers are calling on the government to take steps to ensure that they receive a fair price in the marketplace. Farmers say that they have faced various hardships in the recent past as a result of the reduction in prices.
The harvesting of onions at the end of the Yala season has commenced. Local produce in the Yala season accounts for about 50 to 60% of the national demand for onions.
Between 9,000 and 12,000 kilograms of onions are harvested per acre. 6,000 or 7,000 kilograms were harvested this year due to the rains and low yield of the Indian seeds.
Farmers said that they spend 40 to 45 rupees for the production of 1 kilogram of onions. A kilogram of onions at the Dambul Economic Centre sells for between 70 to 80 rupees.
Pakistani onions are also available in the market. They too sell for between 80 to 85 rupees at Dambulla. In 2 weeks, the production across the island would increase and the market would see an influx of onions. Then if large quantities of the local onions and the imported onions reach the market, there would be a decrease in the price of onions.
Farmers are calling on the government to establish a marketplace where they receive a fair price.
We call on the new government to stop importing onions and prepare a program that provides local farmers with a profit.
We request that the government implement a plan to purchase our goods at a reasonable price and that we are provided with the equipment necessary for harvesting.
Tonight on our investigative journalism segment Action TV, the focus is on Passara, where development projects that have been initiated over the past 4 decades are yet to come to fruition. In 1970, authorities identified the need to expand the severely congested town of Passara. The public representative elected to parliament from the Passara electorate on the UNP ticket at the 1977 general election proposed and got approval for a plan to expand the town. Under this plan, the Passara public market shopping complex, the sub-depot and court complex were to be relocated. However, this public representative was unable to implement the plan. The Passara town was neglected through development strategies enacted until 1994, and in the year 2000, the first modern infrastructure development project in the area was planned. Although the foundation stone was laid for the relocation and renovation of the Passara sub-depot, in line with the swearing-in of former President Chandrika Kumaratunga, Action TV revealed on the 21st of July 2008 that the project was never implemented. The commemorative plaque marking the laying of the foundation stone had been claimed by dense shrubbery and weeds by this point. In 2011, the old bus stop in the town was renovated, while the foundation stone declaring the proposed relocated sub-depot remained in a state of neglect. Unfortunately, this measure only served to further aggravate the already serious congestion in the town. Meanwhile, the Passara Pradeshia Sabha has renovated the old public market shopping complex under the supervision of the Urban Development Authority. Even after the renovation, traders must still prepare roofing for their stalls before they can commence business. The Road Development Authority in the meantime resurfaced the road in the area. However, the resurfacing has given rise to a flood risk at the public fair shopping complex.
We want to be able to come to clean market and buy clean goods. All we can say about the Passara market is that it is disorganized, unpleasant to the eye and extremely unhygienic.
Considering the difficulty of attracting customers to the location of the market complex, some traders have resorted to establishing stalls opposite the bus stop while paying taxes to the Pradeshia Sabha. The proposed public market shopping complex too is now faced with being reclaimed by the earth. The commemorative plaque erected in 2000 declaring the relocation of the sub-depot stands neglected to this day as a testament to the failed endeavors in this area. Hasn't the town of Passara suffered enough over the past 4 decades? Governor of the Uva province, this is over to you.
The Colombo Crimes Division has arrested 2 individuals suspected of stealing goods worth more than 10 million rupees from Colombo and its suburbs.
Police said that the goods were stolen from garment factories in the Maharagama, Pannipitiya, Nugegoda, Homagama and Battaramula areas. The stolen goods include laptops, electronic equipment and machinery used in the garment trade.
Well, that's a wrap of Primetime News. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Florine Rajendran.
And I'm Nadim Majid. Good night and good luck.